This is Ian here, and we're going to be working on INTC 2050 Lab 2. Here on the screen I have a couple tasks we're going to be performing. We're going to configure and verify the DNS server core as 10.1.1.200. We will be installing Active Directory domain services, and then we will be setting the server core as a new domain controller of domain1.local. And last but not least, we will verify the DNS Kerberos SRV record of the SCDC. Now here started, I have a command on the server core that we're going to be using to install the DNS. It is net sh interface IPv4 set DNS server name equals local area network connection, source equals static, and then the address, and then the index equals 1. Now to verify that we have the DNS set up correctly, we're going to type in ipconfig/all. We'll look up here. Next to the DNS servers, it'll show the 10.1.1.200 IP address. Now just to make sure that it's been configured correctly, we're going to ping the RWDC1 by the name and the IP address. So it's correctly getting it from the name. Now let's try the IP address. And that just shows that it's working both ways. Now that brings us to our next step. We're going to be installing Active Directory domain services on the server core, and we're going to be looking at the unattend file. First here is the line saying replica or new domain equals replica. This is just implying that you're replicating an already existing domain. The next file, replica domain DNS name equals domain1.local. This just lists the fully qualified domain name of the domain controller. The next line, this is the default name of the site. Here next to install DNS equals yes, this implies a command to install DNS on this domain controller. The next one, confirm GC equals yes. All this does is imply that global catalog will be active for this domain controller. The next line, user domain equals domain1.local. This lists the domain for the account we will be using. Now for the password, it's pretty obvious what it is. I mean, it's the password of the account that we'll be using. Now the database files is the location of the NTDS file. Now down here towards the safe mode admin password equals mspress number 1. It is the password for the administrator to log into the server core domain. Go ahead and close this. Now to install Active Directory, we're going to be typing in, it's a pretty simple command. It is dcpromo unattend :c : /unattend.txt. You can go ahead and hit enter. And once it checks all the variables on the unattend file, it's going to go ahead and do a server restart. Alright, and the last thing we need to do is verify the Kerberos SRV record existing for the child domain. Now in order to do that, it's pretty easy. You'll type in nslookup, then you'll type in set type equals SRV, and then you'll do underscore Kerberos dot underscore TCP dot DC dot underscore MSDCS dot domain1 dot local. Hit enter, and as you'll see here, it shows us the two SRV records for the writable domain and the server core domain for 10.1.1.203 and the 10.1.1.200. This concludes Lab 2. Thank you for watching.